Okay, so we are going to be punctual, but welcome to our first ever Tuesday leader training. This is something that we started talking about at ELC and just decided that we need more training at the leader level. I think we have some amazing leaders that with just a little bit of training, each of us can go to the next level. And so we're going to be doing this every Tuesday night from 9 to 9:30 Central Time. So just go ahead and mark it on your calendar. We are going to try to be punctual and keep it to 30 minutes. And I'm letting Kristin go 1 minute over because I took one of her minutes with this intro. If you want to stay on afterwards to ask questions, the person who presented might not always be able to stay on, but you always are welcome to stay and do like a small group chat with each other. And so I think you just stopped screen.
I did. My PowerPoint is, I'm getting the rainbow spinny wheel. I'm trying to fix that.
Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so this is our first week. We're going to be talking a little bit today about growth mindset. And so the amazing Kristin is going to be the presenter for tonight. So if you don't know Kristin, I'm going to introduce her for just 1 minute. I know I've already taken 2 minutes on the intro. Man.
Good. Fine, because I don't have a PowerPoint right now.
Oh, good. Well, then I'll just keep talking. It's fine. I got this. This is what I'm good at. Alexi's going to hate me and like never let me do the intro again. Alexi doesn't like my long Zooms. In case okay, so Kristin joined. Kristin, when did you join? I should have like done research.
I joined in June. Are you guys still there? There you are. I joined in June last summer, so a year and a half ago.
So June of 2016. 17.
No. Yes.
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 We got this.
What year is
professional, guys. You know? Don't even worry. Okay. So Kristin joined in June of 2017, and she promoted to director on January 1st of 2019. So a year and a half into her business, she is now a director and working on senior director. We'll probably hit everything before her 2-year mark. So she's going to have to wait on her 2-year mark. Okay, so she is going to be talking about growth mindset. Look how pretty these slides are.
Hold on. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Do you want me to keep like,
No, I got it.
No.
I have too many things open. Okay. We're good. No, we're not.
One day we're going to be that like really professional team, but until then, we're just going to have a lot of fun. So
I'm just going to fake it really quick with my tech. That's fine. Okay. No, I've got it. Can you see that?
Yep, we're good.
Rock on. Okay. Are we ready to get rolling?
Let's do this.
Okay, I'm setting a timer so that I don't make everybody mad. Okay, so very first, I want to do a quick little self-assessment.
Unless you want to come shut the window.
Oh, what we got? A quick little self-assessment. So take a second and answer these 5 questions. So question on the left, pick A or B. And then count up your A's and B's. Since there's only 5 questions, you will have one that's higher than the other. So go ahead and do that really quick. And this is going. Okay. So first one, I believe IQ or intelligence is innate or can be cultivated. Yes, Sadie, you can use what you printed off. This is that first space, those first 5 spaces, those first 5 questions. When faced with a challenge, I feel anxious or invigorated. If you are having a hard time deciding between 2, focus on how you feel in your business. And then when I am pushed to the edge of my ability, I avoid these situations at all costs, or I actively seek these opportunities. And then I feel most encouraged, if you're having a hard time discerning between the 2, I feel most encouraged when I receive praise for my abilities or praise for my efforts. So if you're praised for like, you are so good at recruiting, or what feels better is either you're really good at recruiting or you get praised for, man, you worked so hard to do that. Like what feels better to you? And then when others succeed, I feel threatened or inspired. which one wins that one. If I can see you in the video or in the chat, give me like a thumbs up or a okay when we're ready to go. I'll give you like another 30 seconds. Jenny's ready. Ashley's ready. Ashley, your glasses are darling, by the way. They're so, so cute. Okay. Good to go. Brooke's ready. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. So we're going to move forward. How grow your mindset, grow your business. This is so huge. And it's something that I have witnessed and seen throughout different members of my team, and watching I'm going to take these off because they glare. But watching my team and different members of that team really embrace this, it makes a quick difference, and it trickles down to the members in your downline so quickly. So I'm really excited that you guys are here and listening to this training. I had a blast putting it together. And I'm hoping that by the end of this training, you will have some tangible action steps and takeaways so that you can cultivate a growth mindset for yourself and for your team and for your family. Okay, so we're going to go over what it is and what it is not, why it's important, and how to cultivate it in 3 different areas of your life: self, team, and family. Take a second really quick and total up your A's and B's. If you had more A's, that's the growth mindset column, okay? So pat yourself on the back if that's where you're at. There is always room to improve, and something I want to point out with this A's and B's, so B would be a more fixed mindset approach to things. Actually, did I make that backwards? Where are we at? Yep, I totally did. Okay, A is fixed mindset, B is growth mindset on these questions. This is not meant to be like tricky. I'm sure you could read the columns and like discern for yourself. So I hope you were honest, because honesty is vital for growth. If you're not honest with yourself, there's no improvement that can happen. So we're going to talk about first, what is a growth mindset and what isn't it. So let's start with a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset, this is like, there we go. In a fixed mindset, people believe their basic qualities, like their intelligence or talent, are simply fixed traits. Have you ever been told you're a natural at this? Or have you told your downline that they're a natural at something? Or you know, someone compliments you that this is just like an innate part of you. Like you are, common ones like you are so beautiful, or you are so smart, or you are so charismatic. And it's compliments that are, you know, ingrained in a human being, right? They spend their time documenting their intelligence. I love that word, documenting. They're aware that it exists, and they're proud of it, and or they're not proud of it, and they make mention of it in absolutes and solid things. So they document their intelligence or talent instead of developing their intelligence or talent. They also believe that talent alone creates success without effort. So common things you may hear: I'm not good at recruiting. Feedback and criticism are personal. So if your upline is saying like, hey, what about this? And you're like, you just don't like me, or this is terrible. You know, I mean, I've done that, right? Like everyone has done that at some point. And that's what I meant to say earlier, is that it's fluid. Like your mindset is not just, I have a growth mindset. You're either cultivating that or slipping back into a fixed mindset. Like it's very fluid. And so at any given time, you can change that, which is why I think trainings like this are helpful, because they help us recenter and refocus and reanalyze ourselves and really take a good look introspectively of where we stand and where we need to go. So additionally, I don't like to be challenged. I just don't like talking on the phone. I never have. That's one I've heard in my business and my downline quite a bit. That's one that I said myself. I can either do it or I can't. When I'm frustrated, I give up. That's just the way I am. I just can't seem to keep myself organized. Those are very common. So a growth mindset, on the flip side of that, people believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. It's a starting point. Everyone starts somewhere, but it creates Christina, A is the growth mindset. This view creates a love of learning, which, that's what we sell, is the love of learning. So let's adopt this ourselves, right? And a resilience you cannot grow as a leader without being resilient. All of you made it through the team leader process, and I know you had to develop some resilience there. And that's essential for great accomplishment. So the things here, instead of documenting, they develop dedication and hard work. Things common to hear with this is I can learn to do anything I want. My effort and attitude determine my abilities. Feedback is constructive. I don't know everything. I'm open to learning. I'm humble enough to learn. I like to try new things. I'm inspired by the success of others. It shows me what's possible. I don't know how to do that yet. That was hard, but look what I did. That didn't work well. How can I improve next time? So why is this important? Okay. These are issues that I have seen either in my downlines, in my family, or from talking to many of you with different problems or concerns within your teams as well, or within yourselves, so your personal businesses. So greater comfort with taking personal risks when you have a growth mindset. This is for you greens. This is from a research study. These have all been linked to having a growth mindset. You get people who are striving for bigger goals. They're higher motivation. They're not as afraid to fail, because failure is a learning opportunity. You get enhanced brain development across wider ranges of tasks. So as a leader, when you need to be flipping between parties to coaching, follow-ups, etc., that you speed up in that way when you have a growth mindset. Lower stress, anxiety, and depression, which is huge. I know we deal with quite a bit of that. Better work relationships and higher performance levels. You also get to enjoy life even when you're not good at it, because your stress lowers. You improve your self-esteem and confidence, which means you make different choices when you're reaching out to people, and your team makes different choices when they're reaching out to people. You don't feel stupid when you're learning. You don't stress out about being perfect. You see single events as just that. They don't mean anything over the course of your business. Increase your resilience. Setbacks are useful. You enjoy putting in the time and effort instead of fearing it, because it doesn't need to immediately pay out right that second. You can build something much bigger with the growth mindset. You improve your business long-term. Okay, this is one of my very favorite quotes. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. With a growth mindset, I hope deeply that you try and fail like crazy. Like, I hope you fail. One of my other favorite quotes is fail faster, because you learn faster, right? So like fail faster, figure out what happened, adjust, try again, fail again, adjust, try again, fail again. And you pick up bits and pieces, and then you figure out systems that work for you and your team, and you become unstoppable. And then you experience really explosive periods of growth, which is incredible to see. So, there's also the quote, like, it's darkest before the dawn. If you're like, I have tried everything and nothing's working and I can't seem to get out of this, you're probably right before a huge breakthrough for your team, as long as you're continuing to try new things, right? Okay, so this is where we get really tangible. How do I cultivate a growth mindset in myself? So first off, you lead from the top down. It starts with you. Your team, you cannot expect to help cultivate this in your team members if you're not adopting it yourself, because having a growth mindset affects everything that you do. It affects your messaging, it affects your confidence, it affects the decisions you make as you reach out to different people. I mean, we're in a people business, so we need to have that confidence that everything's a learning opportunity. We're going to try again, and we're going to develop that resilience and seek, opportunities for growth. So here are some tangible tasks on your worksheet. Please pick 2, write them down. At the end of this training, I want you to send a picture to your upline leader, okay? These are examples of ways you can implement this immediately. I know it's a short training, and I know the nitty-gritty of it was pretty short. So if you're green, trust me and do the research on your own. There is a wonderful book by Professor Dweck that I'm happy to send to you. The link to that if you would like more information on this. She's brilliant when it comes to growth mindset. But if you're green, trust me, do some more research. Everyone else, let's just dive in. But green, still pick 2. Okay, so replace the word fail with learn for 30 days. Figure out a way to track that. And anything associated with the word fail. Be secure in your work. For 7 days, pay your upline leader $2 every time you ask if you did something well. Your upline leader should be watching you. If you didn't do something well, they're going to tell you. This helps you get away from needing reassurance and needing validation for every little step of the way. It's going to develop you as a confident leader Your upline leader should be watching. If something's going up in flames, you'll know. But if you're doing something well, you should feel that security and allow yourself to embrace that and enjoy that and be like, I did that. That looks great. I'm really proud of the results there. Obviously it was good, right? Next, write down 3 things you enjoyed about the process of achieving your latest milestone. The process part. What did you enjoy about the process? What did you learn? And then intentionally celebrate that growth. Like, yeah, we celebrate promoting, but like while I was promoting, I learned how to launch people so strong. I can get anyone to success bound now, right? Like, encourage yourself with that growth. Celebrate that growth so that you continue to develop skills and not just results. This one I love so much. I hope you all pick this one in some way. Reach out to and celebrate 2 upline leaders, 2 downline team members, and 2 team members that aren't directly connected to you. Best done if it hurts a little. If you have found yourself envying someone or feeling insecure in your accomplishments, reach out, pump them up, tell them how awesome they are, and just absorb that. Try to focus on, hey, you did something amazing. It shows me what can be done. I'm going to go do it myself. But I appreciate your example. I appreciate your tenacity. Whatever it is, build them up. And it develops confidence again as a leader. The most confident people can compliment. Most confident people can compliment others because they know it doesn't take away anything from themselves. That fosters a really great team community as well. Add the word yet to every doubtful thought you have. Tell your upline if you pick this one so they can keep you honest. I'm not good at that yet. That little word is so, so powerful. If you didn't like 2 of these, here we go. Okay, print the coachability tracker. Color in a box every time feedback is given to you and you reply with, I can do that. That totally freaks me out, but I'm going to try it. You can be honest. I mean, growth is not like gung-ho, yay, I got this. Like, it's hard and it's scary sometimes. But your responses and your coachability grows you. Absolutely. And being humble enough to be like, yep, that's a good idea. Or I don't think that's a good idea, but I'm not getting the results that I want, so I'm going to try it. Thanks, Lexi. Write down 20 goals of different magnitudes. Circle the top 3 that you're currently focusing on. The moment one is accomplished, replace it with a new one from your list. Always having a plan and always being like, yep, I'm learning something new, and not sitting in that space of, well, I just did it. I'm awesome. I just did it. We need to be constantly like moving forward. And so having something prepped for that helps you avoid that lull, that downtime. This is one that I love. I'm a huge fan of personal affirmations. So, and having them where you can see them and saying them out loud. You can ask any of my first line leaders. They've all been coached to do this. And you can think it's hokey or weird, but dang it, it works. So, right, I am responsible for my attitude. I am responsible for my own learning. I can learn anything I want to. I have a growth mindset on a note card and post it where you will see it each morning. Send a picture of it to your upline leader. Bonus points. Like, if you really want this to work for you, say it out loud when you wake up every morning. I'm a huge fan of affirmations. They get stuff done. Okay. How do I cultivate a growth mindset in my team? I'd like to spend some time here because this is why we're here, right? This is the team leader training part of this. We are leaders. We do need to start with ourselves, but we have to be able to translate that to our downlines. So in the course of promoting leaders out, yes, McKay, I will. There are critical moments in mindset that if you have promoted out a leader before, we generally call this like the meltdown phases of consultants. Like, plan for a meltdown. We were, talking about this a little bit earlier in one of the chats that I'm in. And there are 3 critical periods of time where your team needs you to lay it on thick with the growth mindset. So when they're brand new consultants, this is like, hey, yes, this is hard, but guess what? Last week you didn't even know how to set up the event page. Now you do. Like, you've already learned that. You totally learned how to do that. And then, they're going for promotion. Yeah, but 2 weeks ago you didn't even know how to double book yourself. And now look at you. We have to focus on this like path of learning and growth. So week 3 of month 1 team leader promotion, that's when everything starts feeling impossible. And then finishing out strong promotion in those last 2 weeks of month 2 as well. So just take note of these times. And if you get people saying more fixed mindset things, or like, I'm just not good at this, I just can't do this, that's where your leadership needs to step up and really steer them back to a growth mindset perspective. Okay, so tangible tasks for your downlines. When coaching your girls this week, we talked about this in the examples just a second ago, but mention 3 things they can do now that they couldn't do a week, month, quarter ago, year ago, depends on how long they've been with you. How proud you are of them of learning something new. Praise that work. Like we talked about in that initial test, like, are you praising their abilities? I mean, I think sometimes we fall into this trap when we are praising, like, I have a downline, Lauren. I don't know if you're on. I can't see like a list of people, but I have a downline, Lauren, who has really, really figured out how to organize herself each day so that she like plows through her check-ins and she plows through her to-do list like first thing in the morning. She's really, really good at that. And I have praised her before for just having that figured out. That praise should really be, Lauren has worked so hard to figure out a system that works for her brain. She has tried so many different things and she is nailing it right now. Like she really worked hard to figure that out because that's the growth, right? She didn't just show up and become that way. And when we praise others for their just accomplishments, like they're just so good at this, we lose that growth and we discourage others because like, oh, well, I'm just not organized like that. I'm not good at that. And so we discredit that advice or that new tactic or that new strategy. So praise the growth, praise the learning. Ask each member of your downline to tell you something they have learned because of Usborne. This is focusing way far away from sales goals and recruiting and whatever. Like, what have they actually learned? Whether it's time management or how to prioritize, family first and then follow up with the things that are like super fun in this business or, whatever it is. What have they learned? Priorities or time management or self-care or whatever it is that they've learned, ask them. Reply with yet every time your DL says they can't do something. We talked about that one a little bit earlier. The word yet is so powerful with growth mindset. I've used it on my kids for years and it's so helpful. Publicly shout out one of your downlines who already exhibits a growth mindset and praise her effort, work, tenacity, resilience. Do not call her a natural. Don't praise her innately. Praise the growth, praise the learnings. Reach out to each of your promotion-bound girls and praise them on the skills they are developing throughout this promotion process. Remind them the journey is even more important than the payoff. This is one thing I want to touch on briefly. Oh my goodness, we're almost out of time. Okay. When girls are promoting, I think often there is this idea that they're building their team and they're looking for their 3 rock stars to get them promoted. And then we start getting picky and recruiting and it's a mess. It's not good. And so when I've been promoting, working with promotion bound girls, I try to really focus on, what, it's okay if this recruit is not a rock star. You're going to learn how to work with a difficult recruit. You're going to learn how to run a book drive. You're going to learn how to run a CFAC. We're worried about the skills as a team leader to make sure that you have what you need to build a large team after this promotion process. We're not worried about you having your 3 rock stars and you never have to recruit again. That's not the goal. We want to build consistent, strong skills that is needed to be a team leader, right? Strong leadership skills and strong core business skills, partying, follow-ups, recruiting, etc. Okay. How do I cultivate a growth mindset in my kids? I really wanted to include this because we are moms. First and foremost, the personal development that we learn through Usborne and through being consultants and through being leaders needs to translate to our families. That's where our greatest joy is. And our kids mean the most to us. And so this has been really, they're so lucky to have a mom that is actively working on herself, right? And so if all these skills are not translating to our family, then we're really missing out on a key opportunity that we have. And so these are ways that I have helped my kids. The growth mindset has been awesome in our family. And I had all these fun stories to tell you, and I can't because we have 5 minutes. But my parents really rocked a growth mindset when we were growing up. And I've tried to use some of their tactics to help my kids. And it's been really interesting to see, like, when I slip out of that practice and then come back into it, how much better attitudes are in our house and trying new things and getting along. So add getting so or learning how to your praise. So instead of you are so smart, you are getting so smart. You're working so hard. You are getting so thoughtful. You are really learning how to be kind to your sister. You're really learning how to understand that piano music. You're really learning how to sight read well. You're, this constant progression of lifelong learning in your children. Play the yet game when your littles get frustrated, best accompanied with tickles. So my little Nash went through a period of time where he could not figure out how to tie his shoes. And he was so angry about it because he has a twin brother. And so there's a lot of competition there. And his brother was tying his shoes just fine, and he could not figure it out. And he would always yell, "I can't do it. I can't do it." And I would scream, "Yet," and tickle him like crazy. And he would try again. And it would work. So play the yet game. Add yet to any negative, doubtful, whatever thing, because they get messages like that from their peers all the time. And so if we are not actively counteracting that fixed mindset is going to get nice and strong. Which brings us to adopt the phrase, brains can get stronger. I'm working on this with my daughter right now. She's learning how to read, and she has some speech issues. And she's really, really good at using she speaks fast, and she uses her mouth really well. She does not use her throat or her tongue well at all. And so it's hard to understand her. And so she says, my parts don't work right. My tongue doesn't work right. My throat doesn't work right. And I said, yeah, but brains can get stronger, and brains control everything. And so that's what we talk about that a lot. This one's huge. And I think it's huge for our generation too, because we fear failure so much, because we were raised on hyper encouraging parents. So commit to allowing your children to fail. Sit back, let them fail, let the feelings sink in, and then ask, what could we learn from this? What could we do better next time? What did you notice about that? Did that feel good? That didn't feel good. That was not a great choice. Like, what could we learn from that? Praise their persistence and tell them stories about times you noticed their resilience in the past. When my daughter Tenley was 15 months old, we had this staircase that bent. Like, it went up like 10 steps and then turned 90 degrees and went up 10 steps. And it wasn't pretty. It was like all enclosed. It was old house, not great. But she had this little plastic shopping cart that was as big as she was at the time, and she was 15 months old, and she drug it up the stairs, and it fell down probably 50 times, like not an exaggeration. And I stood at the top of the stairs, and there was an armchair up there, and I just sat there and watched her for at least half an hour go up and down and try to get this up. And she finally got to the top, and she was so proud of herself. And I didn't rescue her, and I didn't go take the shopping cart up. And I remember this because I had to think, don't go rescue her. Like, let her do it. She's not hurting herself. She's not frustrated. Like, she's not losing it. And even if she was frustrated, I really shouldn't intervene, right? If she's just trying something new and struggling, that's fine. But I tell her that story all the time. And we talk about the shopping cart all the time. And that's like that's now part of her core. Like, resilience is part of her core, and tenacity is part of her core. Her name's Tenley, and Tenley the Tenacious. We say that a lot. Did you try something new today? Part of your bedtime chat. I also put notes in my boys' lunches every day. Pack their lunches and put a little Post-it note in, or my husband does. But lately I've been putting in, like, I'm so excited to hear what new game you played today, or go find someone new today. I want to hear about your new stuff. And then at bedtime, did you try something new today? What was it? How did it go? What did you think? And then be a model instead of, I'm not very good at this, or this is too hard for me, or I've just never really tried that. This is really hard for me. I guess I better keep practicing. This is the end of my presentation. I have a few fun stories as far as good examples of growth mindset, especially in business. I've been really blessed to have leaders who adopted this mindset early on and have pushed me that direction. Like, you can learn anything. And I also mentioned before that my parents really helped with that. My father is 55 and looks about 38, and he works out so hard. He's in the best shape of his life. And my mom talks to me all the time. She's taken sewing classes at the community. She's a college graduate, but she's gone back to school for sewing classes, and she's starting she's a piano performance major, and she teaches students, and she's constantly working on her personal education. She's a lifelong learner, and to come from parents like that has been really a huge blessing for me. But I can imagine not having that. I don't know if I would be as open to ideas like this, or open to believing that anyone can learn any basic skill, that everything is a skill to be learned. If that is you, if that falls in your lap, I would encourage you to pick these tasks and try them. Try them. Set yourself a time limit if you're overwhelmed by it, and just say, I'm going to give this a try for the next, 21 days or 30 days, and see how you feel, first about yourself, second about your business, and then third about others. Pay attention to the results there. Anyhow, we have it is exactly 9:30. Yay. Katie, I could figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but I could figure out how to do that. I don't see why not. Anyhow, yeah, I'm not a super huge expert, but if there's questions, I'm happy to field those. Otherwise, take it away, Kristin.
Thank you, Kristin. That was way to have a growth mindset. Yeah, that was like perfect. I don't know how to do that yet.
I'm like flushed, you guys. I know I just like word